Nous invitons d'autres personnes. Euh, Salut Octopussy. Vincent? C'est Vincent? Madame Taphouse. Coucou, coucou. Donc là, on avait un petit souci avec What's in the Glass. Je me faisais déconnecter à chaque fois. J'ai jamais compris pourquoi. Donc là, je lui ai proposé de prendre le live et de lui permettre de me rejoindre. Et on va voir si dans ce sens-là, ça va tenir. Parce que là, j'ai pas compris, je comprends pas ce qui se passe. Salut Ginette. Je vais attendre 2 secondes, voir s'il se connecte et puis voir si on peut continuer le live. Euh, Parce que là, c'est quand même un peu bizarre avec son... Ah, ouais. Vas-y, on essaye. Afficher. Ah,
Yes.
I can see you now.
Yes. I
And
like
you can
this.
see me.
How are you?
I'm good.
Oh
And
man.
you?
You see, sometimes you have to try different things. It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Mm. So I can see what I'm drinking now.
Oh, I know this. I saw it. Yes. It's a fantastic drink.
Mm.
I wanted
So
to go
cheers.
very easy with 5%, like American style stout. So cheers, man.
Cheers.
Nice. And I would love to say thank you as well to everyone. Then wait until we were able to find the right
Yeah.
solution. So I know there were Gabe and
Yeah.
many other people.
Yeah. So I hope that people will follow that you are on live because you have 3 people now. You have
Yeah.
more people.
I'm pretty sure someone will know that we are alive. So
Yeah,
this is
somewhere.
this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And again, I also save it as well. So I'm always make sure that people always see it there. And I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you a couple of things today, man. And first of all, like how has been life for you with the furlough, uh, with the with the quarantine and this bad time? How did it go?
It was quite difficult because 2 months I'm single.
Oh wow.
2 months is self-isolated. It was really, really hard. Not really talking with real people,
Yeah.
having this connection. It was really hard. So yeah, pretty happy that it's finished. It's done for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
For the moment,
When did it
we
finish?
see.
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday we it's it, it's the official finish, but we have some strict rules to
Okay.
follow.
Mm-hmm.
You can't you can go far more than 100 kilometers.
Okay.
So you have to stay in your area. You can't travel around France. So yeah, it's still quite difficult. All the bars are closed. Restaurants are closed. Um, we just do some pickup.
Mm-hmm.
So some bars now trying to do some services as pickup for beers.
Mm-hmm.
They try to do some growlers to to uh, to use their kegs
Yep.
and to serve beer from their kegs with
Yep.
growlers. I don't know if it's happening also in the UK.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Like most of the people now, most of the breweries are trying to send beer through channels,
Mm.
beer through
Yeah.
the off trade. This is how they call it here. So lots of
Mhm.
e-commerce, lots of bottle shops, and basically, I'm sure every car that is driving in the street, probably 75% of them are delivering beer,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
yeah. A lot of breweries had to adapt to the this situation.
Yeah.
A lot of breweries just created a service for deliveries
Hmm.
in their own areas
Yeah.
because they didn't do. It's not their jobs, but they have to do this if they want to survive.
100%.
Um, it's quite sad, but for the moment, it's in it. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but yeah, you can do the other way. It's for the moment, it's the only way that all of us can see how to work now. And we all hope that all the bars can now will open soon.
100%.
Maybe at the end of May,
Hmm.
uh, if everything is going all right. We'll see.
You know, the good thing about what you're doing is the fact that you guys build and you guys are part of a big Parisian beer community. And you
Mhm.
know, when I was checking the numbers, when I was checking like how many people the community, the Paris Beer Club, it's amazing. There isn't anything
Mhm.
like this in the UK apart from Camera.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the community, it's an association. It was created 10 years ago. The association will celebrate its 10th birthday in October.
Yeah.
Uh, at first, it was just a bunch of passionate people.
Hmm.
Some people who will became pros in to be in becoming bar owners, and then some brewers. They were home brewers, and then they became pros,
Yep.
and they opened the breweries. Now we have 270 people in the
Wow.
association, so that's a big community. It, every people is involved. It's passionate. It's a mix between pros and passionate people.
Okay.
Uh, that's it.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the UK. I don't know. But this kind of association and this kind of community, that you have a bunch of communities in France
mhm.
because you have the Paris Beer Club, but now you have the Normandy Beer Club, you have the Nantes Beer Club, you have plenty association now in France. Maybe the next step will be to organize all of these associations, new associations of communities around beer, creating things, creating events, creating communication to promote the craft beer in France.
You know, an interesting thing is the fact that in France, as you said, in a community, you can have consumers, breweries, publicans,
Yeah,
and just simple people that love beer. In here, in my experience, in what I saw in these years in the UK, I realized there are different type of communities for every role. So you have the breweries, you have the publicans, the consumers, and just other people
yeah.
like random. So I was fascinated when I saw that you are capable to unify as many people you can within the beer scene. It's great. You must speak
Uh,
the same language.
yeah, yeah. It's important for us. Then you have other communities for the breweries. You have the union for
Right.
the breweries. You have two unions in France for the breweries. They also try to create a union for all the Paris and its region, for all
Mhm.
the breweries that producing in this region. But it's quite difficult for the breweries because the craft breweries are really small, so they can't really organize things outside their breweries because they're like on full time. They have no free time for them, so it's quite difficult for them to organize things.
Mm-hmm.
And also we have the chance when the association was created because there was clearly not a lot of things to do.
Right.
The association was created in 2010, and in 2012, you had the first craft beer bars in Paris,
Wow.
really dedicated to craft beer, independent craft beer.
What is the name?
You had La Fine Mousse
Yep.
and Les Trois Huit, also Super Coin. Maybe 3 bars created around this year, the year of 2012.
Yep.
Now you have plenty bars, plenty bottle shops, and everything. But at this time, in 2010, you have one bottle shop, and then you had nothing, just passionate people who's trying to do events, to drink big beers together, to drink good beers.
Yeah.
To train themselves with the taste buds, to train themselves to degustations. So they created this association for that.
Right.
And then in 2012, you had the first bars, also the first breweries in Paris and its region. And then in 2013, when you have the first locations to drink craft beer, they created the Paris Beer Week.
Wow.
A big festival for that, and to promote the craft beer scene.
But you know, the point for me is how you can be a club if you can't meet all of you together apart from the festival. How do you actually experience the unification of it? Events.
There's plenty things. There's plenty things. So first of all, when you come to the association, when you have get your membership,
yeah,
you have a card. I don't have the card on me. You have a card, like a member card, where some of the pros from the association do some special price.
Okay.
In the bars, in the bottle shops, and everything. So first you have this for 1 year. Each year you have to renew your membership. Then we also organize a lot of events. It's degustation. When a foreign brewery comes in France, we try to do some events with him or her.
Yeah.
We also try to promote beers in other festivals. When there's a big event in Paris, we try to go there so we can bring the craft beer for the mainstream people. I want to say that.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we have plenty events, plenty actions. When we try to federate people around these actions, because our association, it's not just the way to organize a big event. It's more than that. Yes, it's a lot. It takes a lot of time to organize a big event on 1 week, and then big closing party event on 2 days. But then you have to organize a lot of events to try to promote beer, and every day we try to communicate around that. So to federate people, you have a lot of things to do on the internet. You have a Facebook private club, private group. It's a Facebook private
Private
group.
group. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All the members can be there, and then we can try and we can communicate together.
Hmm.
Also, we have a newsletter, and also as they all from the Paris beer scene, we can see each other on every events all over the year. There's plenty events now in Paris.
Yeah.
When you have around 80 or 100 places in Paris dedicated to craft beer, you have always an event every time. So we can see each other at all of these events. So we all know each other because we're a big community. We're the beer fans.
Hmm.
So we see each other a lot of time.
And I know you're traveling a lot. You go around. You stay
Yeah.
in contact with as many people you can. And how was the beer scene before the beer group, the beer community? You know, like people were used to try to build a community before, or wasn't really a thing.
I don't think there was really something before. I was not into this beer scene before, but
Okay.
also there was no really beer scene. The beer scene was really created. The beer community was created and was developed
Hmm.
around the development of the Paris beer scene. It was all together because you have no location, no places to drink good beers, to see new beers, to meet some people from the breweries.
Yep.
So it all started. Okay, the association was created in 2010, but
Hmm.
it was really limited um, for some people because they were the first beer geeks in Paris, as you can say. Now we in 2012 it's really when it was start.
Okay.
It, it started in 2012.
And
Yeah.
you know, I love the fact that many people always said that in these days you must be part of a community of people that doing similar things because I live in London, you live in Paris. When you go out, you want to meet people with similar interests than you have, because it's good to share opinions, it's good to share
Yeah.
passions, and it's great. But do you not find interesting that most of the communities are around consumers goods, like stuff that we buying, stuff that it's not just about a lifestyle, it's not just about a way to live, it's also like something that you buy, something that how can I say, there is a different involvement, almost kind of you spending money and you want to meet people like you. Like, how do you see this?
That's
I don't meet Italian in Lotton, but I meet
yeah,
beer people. This is an interesting one.
yeah.
Provenience is not something that it makes me feel in my family, but beer it does.
I don't I don't see. For me, community it's around a passion. It's built around a passion. So yeah, you're right in a way with you buy things, you buy a beer, you go to bars and you take flights and but it's it's a lot of the same thing for all the communities. If you go to football they have communities, but they all buy the scarves. They buy tickets to see the match. Also go to pubs, but no, I don't see it. I see it more a community around a passion
Mhm.
about the same interest that we share all together. Also, when you have some codes, you have some rules, as in all communities that you have. So also, when you travel and when you go to another country, um, it's like for the beer community, you go to the beer scene where where you're traveling,
Yeah.
and it's like feeling like home, uh, because you have the same codes, the same rules.
Mm-hmm.
You have the same passion, so it's quite recomforting.
Mm-hmm.
You try to find recomfort about the same passion, and you see the same people. And in Europe, we have several people who's always traveling to some beer festival, to the same bars,
Yep.
uh, and then you can connect, because now it's the same thing that when I go to a bar in Paris, and I see the people that I already know. Now, if I go to London, if I go to Berlin, or even maybe Barcelona, and I never went to Barcelona, but I know that if I'm going to Barcelona and there's a big event, I know that I will find the people that I know, not the same people in Paris, but the European uh, craft beer geeks. We find them and they'll say, "Okay, it's like home. It's my place now."
I like that. And do you think, as president of, the Paris Beer Club and a beer community, do you have almost like a responsibility, um, to consumers, to breweries, to bars and pubs, any sorts of responsibility about the
We're,
industry scene?
uh, the main responsibility that I feel, it's about the breweries, the bar, all the pros, um, because we ask them some efforts, to support the community. So then when we do some communication, when we try to reach the big medias, the people, the mainstream people, to get them involved in the beer scene, or at least
Mm-hmm.
to consume really good beers, and the beers that the bars, that our friends from the bars, from the bottle shop, from the breweries, uh, who are selling these beers.
Yeah.
Uh, we have this responsibility. We just want to develop this um, this industry. We want to develop it. So that's the main responsibility. Then for all the people that get involved also into that, for me they are just at the same level. We are all the communities. I'm just here for legal reason, because you have to elect a president, to put all the legal things of the
Awesome.
association on his back. So we are three in the head of the organization,
Mm-hmm.
but we all the same. We all volunteers, uh, and the association. We are the community. You don't have a person really in charge. When we took options, when we took make choices and take decisions, we are around 10 people in the board, and one voice is everyone has one voice. So we there's not special. I don't have like big powers, on the community. I'm just here to try to manage
Mm.
and to coordinate uh, all the action that we have to do, and then, as I said, we are a community, so that's the community, and the community is in charge of what we are doing.
And Camera in the 70s, the campaign for real ale in Britain managed to have some beautiful, wins against taxation, against quality of beer, or arms to quality of beer. And they managed to have, to almost train people to understand what is real quality when they drink beer and everything.
Ah,
So I would love to hear, for example, I don't know, like, do you hope that you're gonna change, for example, I don't know, like something specific in the beer community, like trying to make sure that breweries are gonna be more ethical, and bars are gonna serve better beer.
we are trying not to do politics.
Okay,
We just try to promote beers. I would love to have time to make more education to the
okay,
people. Um, but what what is for ethics? We don't fight for ethics in the breweries because it's their business.
mm-hmm.
We are a non-profit association, so for us, we just work with people that we want to work with. Also, the breweries, if they recognize themselves in our community, they will come. If they are not, um, I will say, if they are not really if they don't have ethics or opposite ethics from us,
Yeah,
they won't come.
right.
Also, you already have breweries that we work with and breweries that founded the community. So they don't get along with other breweries.
Mm.
We have some breweries that are fighting because the French way, it's really not the same that English way, I would say. You have some people who are who came from England who all have the same business way that the UK, and the French brewers really don't like that. So we don't have a lot of breweries that they have this kind of politics in their industry, their companies. So it's the selection is made by nature because there are
Wow.
already breweries who are here, and the other breweries that we don't get along. We can't. We are not on the same page. We don't like them, so we won't come. The only rule that we fight for is the independence of the breweries,
Mm.
and they have to be artisanal because as we are all volunteers, I don't see the point to work on my free time to promote a brewery who got the money from a big one. You know,
100%.
uh, it's not coherent. It's not pertinent. It's not. I won't work for free for a brewery that has all the money they want so to do their own communications. If we do that, it's for the small business. It's for all these small breweries, independent breweries that are struggling sometimes, and we're here to try to help them to communicate and to be in front of the big public, the big mainstream public.
100%. Well, man, I know few people that can say that around the community where I am, usually UK, Spain, and Italy.
Mm.
But there is an expression in Italian which means then the French have their own way, and
Hmm.
they don't care, and it's coming from history, it's coming from culture.
Ah,
Um, and not much we can do with that. It's just their way. And I felt when I was in Paris, because I haven't seen big beer everywhere. I was almost seeing artisanal different
Yeah.
in shops. Supermarkets is different, of course, but
Yeah.
in shops it was very selective, selection
Mm,
of beers,
yeah.
which is good. Wow. And
Yeah, they are really, really, really involved. If we can take an example, Beavertown was really famous in France in all the craft beer shops.
mhm.
Then when we learned about
I
the buyout from Heineken, all the craft beer shops were like, no, we won't have you anymore, because they are really engaged, really involved in the craft beer scene. So it's like that. It's when someone is going big, or going to be set out from for a big one,
Mhm,
people stop. People stop. You had the same thing with Ducato,
mhm.
uh, and so on.
And another interesting thing is many people sometimes make confusion about Belgian and French beer words because similar names or French names in some breweries, and and I like to see every time this clear manifestation of we are French, we're doing different things, especially in
Mhm.
beer, and I love that.
Yeah, yeah, but clearly, to be honest, all the new really good breweries that we have in France, it's all influenced now by the US. It's it's just we're doing New England IPAs, and so you have some breweries that um, is not who are not taking part of it.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're trying to do some uh, uh, US influenced beers,
Mm.
but they try to do to create the French beers, because also, to be honest, we don't have a lot of uh, French beers. We don't have French styles.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh, you had the style de garde, les bières de garde,
Hmm.
but besides that, we didn't really have. With the craft beer revolution, a lot of new breweries, new people who had this new passion,
Hmm.
this new obsession to do beers.
Yeah,
They all take the same way to do beers, but they just recreate what they saw and what they loved about the craft beers from the UK, from the US. But now they have to try to find their own way, and their own style. Uh, we have a lot of woods, a lot of barrels, so that's one thing that we have to develop, to work more with barrels, because it's typically French, um, and to work and mix with wine. So now we have some breweries who's trying that, to
yeah.
try mixed fermentation and to try to work with wine. Maybe it's one of the way that we can really propose to the people, to the international people, the French beers. But for now, it's difficult, because all of our best breweries, yes, they're doing amazing job. But to be honest, when you're in the UK, having French beers, good French beers, it's not it's not really different from what you have in the UK. So where's the point to import really good French beers if it's to have the same, different,
Mm.
because different label, different origins of them. And then we have a special label called Nature and Progress. It's like the organic label because organic label in France was based on this label called Nature and Progress. And
Okay.
Nature and Progress is a specific label to produce beer in a more responsible way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about raw material because they are restricted to select raw materials from their own area.
Yep.
So it's better for the environment. It's better for a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
but also they take care of their own employees. There are some rules and they have some ethics in the employment. And that's one of this label, this label, Natural Products, maybe one of the future of French beers.
Wow.
I really think about that. Uh, just one thing that we have to develop hops plantations because we are lacking of hops plantations.
Mm.
That's just one thing that we can't really develop this label right now because all of our hops plantation are really new.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to develop this, but as you know, it takes more than 10 years to have a real good plantation. So it will take times.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fact. In Italy, it was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
They have some success right now, but has been a long way. And so, I'm having a course starting at 6, so we have 6 minutes before the start,
Yeah.
and after all of the difficulties, we managed to be here, which is make me very happy.
Yeah.
And what I would like to say to you is, how do you see in 6 months' time, in December, the French beer community, and how do you see Paris Beer Club, and what do you think you're gonna need to do?
Um, that's a tough questions because it's really difficult to see the future in already 1 month. So 6 months, it's quite difficult. But what we're trying to do and what we just saw with this situation is that people are more consuming more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
They're all trying to consume
Mm-hmm.
local products. So yeah, we can see a brighter future with the club because as I said to all the members of the association, we all influencers in Paris and its region,
Yep.
and we have to influence all the people that are next to us, our coworkers, our families, and try also to with our friends and to try to get them into the craft beers
Mm-hmm.
and to drink better. So there's a light of hope
Mm-hmm.
that I can see, and we'll see in 6 months. I don't know. I don't really know what will happen if we have a new quarantine. If we have a new quarantine, it will be like it will be a disaster for
More
not
breweries.
for the community because the community we have a lot of people passionate about this and we have some pros that will be there maybe in another business in 1 or 2 years but if we don't have a new quarantine, I think that we can really boost the responsible consumers.
Mm-hmm.
I can say
Mm-hmm.
like that. So yeah, what we just saw with this situation is that people are really getting involved into consume local, consume more responsible. Now we just have to push it a little harder on this with all the communities because we have a big community and we can do that. Also, we have our festival. We really think and hope that our festival in October will be a success. because other people now wants to go out, wants to discover all the products that they can have,
Yeah.
And try also to create a new world. So we won't change the world, but accompany. We can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Drive.
Yeah. We can drive it. We won't change the world, but we can drive it. We can drive the change of the world, and try to have more people be involved into this. Not we won't have a new passionate people maybe, but maybe just more consumers.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
that's all I hope.
there is so much to do, but you have a beautiful community, because you are many of you, and if the word will be fixed enough to let me come to France and see how the festival is going, you're gonna see me there.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, I would love to thank you for wanting to do this live stream, and finally managed to be here and to discuss about important
It was
things.
difficult.
If you put share in the video when you finish it, I will download it later on so I can upload it to the page as well. And
I'll do this.
Please, Karim. And you've been very, very kind that you gave me very important answers to interesting questions. And I'm really, really happy that I met you 2 years ago in Paris. And you're good man.
Yeah, it was okay. Thank you. It was
Stay
a pleasure.
safe and see you around.
Stay safe.
Ciao,
Take care.
man. A
Bye.
bientôt.